Hello and welcome back. This time we're going to be looking at creating a class, a registration form class, where we will be able to get the serial number for each of the form that we generate and also determine the number of forms we have generated. So I'm going to create the registration form again. I will define the init method for instantiation. So name and age is what I want to be inputted when instantiating. So I'll store the name in the self.name and age I'm going to store in self.age. Okay, we have this simple class. Let's create form 1. Registration form Matthew is 11. Let's give it more real estate. Shegun is 15. Is 23. So I just generated 3 forms now, and if I print out the forms, this is what I get. I get form 1, form 2. It gives me the memory location of the forms on the computer, but that's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show name and age of the forms. So I'm going to declare a $string method. I'll say return. So it's going to show you form 1 is Matthew is 11. Form 2, just the same way, that's the way I entered it here. So in this program, we wrote the registration form and instantiated 3 forms, that is, made 3 copies of the form, and then printed out the form using the $string method to format the way the form is printed. But how do we determine the number of forms we have printed? In a real world instance, when you have the original form and then you have duplicate forms, maybe like the Davis form, the example we made, or maybe form 1, the best way you can keep tag of the number of forms that you've created is to put a variable in the original form. So every time they make a copy of this one, you record it. You make a record of the numbers. So when they come to make a copy or you instantiate a copy, you record it. And guess where that variable will go here? You guessed right. It's going to be a class variable. So I'm just going to say copy equals to 0. That is, at the first instance, it is at 0. And every time you instantiate, like we said, when you instantiate, it runs this code. So what we come here to do is we will say registration form dot copy plus equals to 1. So that means every time you instantiate, you make a copy, you should add 1 to the registration form class variable. Let's print out total form, the total number of form. And how do we get that? We'll say registration form dot copy. So you can see here it says 3. So if we have another one, say register, we have 4. It's going to say the total form we have is 4. Though we printed out only 3, the first 3, if I want to print out that 4th one, I'm just going to change this to 4, and then I have 4 forms out here, and then the total number. So every time you run this code, it increases the number on the class variable called copy. And the thing is, this class variable called copy is on every of the instance. Say I want to print out form1.copy. It's still going to show me, From 1.copy, it's still going to show me 4. That is, it keeps a track of the total number of the form. From 2.copy will still show 4. And also it's from 3 and from 4. So all these keep a track. That record is constant across the copies, that is the instances. So with that known, I can generate a serial number for every instance. So underneath the initialization, I'll say self.serial registration.copy. So if I want to print out the serial number for each of my form and add it here, so I'll say serial number, that will be self.serial. I use the string method to write it, that every instance you make, you write out the name, the age, and then the serial number. So it has this serial number written there. I like to make the serial number a little bit more like serial number. So I'm just going to use the zfill string method. So I'll convert the copy to string, and then I'll use zfill and say fill with 5 zeros. So yeah, you can see now it looks a little bit more, the digits are now 5. It looks a little bit more like serial number. If you really want to get into doing serial number, you can, still do it with Python. You can watch my video on doing randoms and join method in string. Let's just play with it. Let's do it. I'm gonna take this out for now, and I have this code that contains alphabets and numbers, and then I'm going to say here, I'm going to import, I'm going to use one of Python module. So random.sample. This helps me to pick a sample of the alphanumeric. So I'll say registration. I want to pick from the registration. This is, a little bit more complex, but if you just want to go a little bit more, that's why I'm doing this. Registration form alphanumeric, and I want you to give me 5 of that. So what that does is it creates a list of 5 items randomly picked from these values. You can see them here. And then I want to join all that lists together. So I'm going to say join them, no space, use to join command, and join that list together. So you see right here, this is what it does. It creates that list. I'm going to add it to this string with 5 zeros. It gives it serial number kind of look. So I would say plus this value, plus that value. So let me reduce this to 3. Yeah, so the serial number looks a little bit more like serial number. It does this, and then it puts the last value at the back. That's the serial number. So you don't have to do this. This is just to show you, basically this command is how you can automatically generate random numbers, maybe for password, for serial number. It's not that difficult, really. Let me break down the code. So this is what we have. We created a registration form class. We created instances of the registration form. We also registered a copy. Every time a copy is created, the number is increased for us to see the number of forms that we created, and then we use that to create a serial number. Thank you for watching.